He whispered it, almost afraid of his own truth. It's like kissing another man's wife. That one line didn't just break hearts. It cracked open Kody's secret. Within days, the man who once led 4 wives began plotting to sell the family's Foreverland. Was it guilt, regret, or one last grab for control? You're watching The Last Kiss at Coyote Pass, and the ending will leave you breathless.
You turned
Part
down
1. Once upon a time, Kody Brown was the man of 4 wives and one dream unity through plural love. But that dream has shattered into silence and separate addresses. Now, only Robyn remains the legal wife, the last connection to what once was. And in that quiet, something darker began to grow, a loneliness wrapped in justification. Because when you've lost 3 wives, every word you say next matters, and this one was a bombshell. When Kody looked at Brody, he wasn't just seeing a young man courting his daughter. He was staring into the reflection of every relationship he's ever failed to keep. Kody, you know, son. When I think about dating now, it feels like kissing another man's wife. Brodia? What? It wasn't just an awkward dad moment. It was a confession, wrapped in moral confusion and spiritual guilt. And fans caught it instantly. Was this about faith or fear of moving on? Reddit lit up within minutes. Kissing another man's wife? One fan wrote. What is wrong with him? Others defended him, saying Kody's faith once built his family. Maybe it's all he has left. This is why his daughters can't open up to him. He's still trying to control the narrative. It's giving emotional manipulation. Across YouTube, TikTok, and forums, women debated not just Kody's words, but what they revealed about his mind. Was this guilt, shame, or the final echo of a man who can't accept his own downfall? Because maybe, deep down, he wasn't talking about dating, he was talking about losing power. Here's the twist that no one saw coming. Kody's monogamy with Robyn wasn't healing, it was haunting him. His statement about kissing another man's wife wasn't about Aurora or Brody. It was about himself. Because in Kody's world, love without ownership feels like betrayal. And that's where the real story begins. A man trapped in a faith built on sharing love, now imprisoned by jealousy. For years, sister wives sold the fantasy of unity, but beneath the surface was one man's fear of being replaced, of losing control, of no longer being the center. Christine's new fiancé laughing. Janelle celebrating independence. Meri rebuilding her brand. Every wife who walked away took a piece of Kody's identity, and now, even as he clings to Robyn, he's still haunted by the ghost of his own choices. Maybe it wasn't about morality at all. Maybe it was about possession. As the episode faded out, the internet didn't. Kody's words became a symbol not just of one man's downfall, but of a generation of women watching, realizing something powerful. Sometimes, what sounds like faith is really fear. And sometimes, a kiss you refuse to give is the love you'll never get back. Part 2. After years of heartbreak, the Brown family seemed to be finding peace. Christine found love again. Janelle found strength. Meri found courage. For the first time, the women weren't wives, they were women, rebuilding lives beyond Kody's orbit. But as they moved forward, Kody felt something slipping away. Control. And control was the one thing Kody never learned to live without. In mid-season, whispers began. Viewers noticed paperwork, listings, land surveyors seen near Coyote Pass. Could Kody be trying to sell the property without telling his exes? Kody had said Coyote Pass was their family's legacy, the dream home that would keep them connected forever. But behind the scenes, he was making quiet inquiries, testing offers, and planning an apology tour he hoped would fix the fallout before it even began. But this time, his words couldn't hide the truth because everyone already knew. For Meri Brown, this wasn't just a subplot, it was her liberation. After years of isolation, Meri is finally dating again, and the internet loves it. Her confidence, her sparkle. It's the Meri fans have been waiting to see since 2010. You glow differently when you're free. Meri's energy is unmatched now. But when Kody finds out, his reaction isn't pride, it's panic. Because while Meri is moving on emotionally, Kody is trying to move on financially. Meanwhile, Janelle Brown is turning heartbreak into hard work. On a small farm in North Carolina, she's building something she can finally call her own. For Janelle, this isn't just land, it's independence, a place untouched by Kody's promises or Coyote Pass contracts. But when news breaks that Kody's been quietly negotiating Coyote Pass's sale, Janelle's North Carolina dream becomes a declaration. She's never going back. In a rare move, Kody sets out to visit each of his exes, Meri, Janelle, and even Christine, hoping to make amends. But to the women, it doesn't sound like closure. It sounds like guilt. Kody to Meri: I just want peace between us. Meri: you can't sell peace, Kody. Janelle: you already sold the dream. It wasn't a reconciliation. It was a reckoning. And when the cameras caught Kody's final apology, fans saw something he didn't. A man finally realizing the love he lost isn't coming back. Because when you sell the land that held your family together, what's left to stand on? As the credits rolled, the internet exploded. Fans were furious. Some called him manipulative. Others called it karma. And through it all, one word echoed again and again: closure. Coyote Pass was supposed to be the family's forever home. Instead, it became a metaphor for control, for regret, for everything love can't fix once trust is gone. If this story hit you right in the heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because next week, we uncover the truth behind Robyn's silence and why her tears might not be what they seem. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. To understand this moment, we go back to the dream. Coyote Pass wasn't just land, it was supposed to be their redemption. Each wife would have a home there, each child a place to belong. But that dream cracked. Christine left first, calling it a prison of promises. Janelle soon followed, walking away from the man she once called her spiritual equal. And Meri, the first wife, became the last to let go. And while everyone thought the story was over, Kody was just beginning a new one alone. It happened in passing a conversation with Aurora's boyfriend, Brody Utley. The topic: dating, the emotion, raw discomfort. Kody: it's like kissing another man's wife. Brody: even if you're single. Kody: it just feels wrong now. Viewers froze. Was this guilt talking or a man still living in a past faith that broke his family apart? That's not faith, that's ownership. He still sees women as extensions of his identity. Imagine saying that to your daughter's boyfriend. But what fans didn't know, this strange statement wasn't just spiritual confusion. It was emotional foreshadowing. Weeks later, murmurs began online. Real estate listings, survey stakes, and rumors that Kody Brown was trying to sell Coyote Pass quietly. According to property records reviewed by The Sun, multiple inquiries had been made on parts of the land. Fans noticed fresh survey markings in filming footage. The same area once promised to Janelle. The timing? right after Meri began dating again. Coincidence or revenge? It wasn't just a sale. It was a message, one last move to remind his family that even after the love was gone, the land was still his to lose. As Kody clung to the past, his ex-wives were writing new beginnings. Meri's confidence became her quiet rebellion. Her Instagram posts told the story freedom, healing, and finally, self-worth. Meri's glow-up is divine. She doesn't need Kody to feel valuable anymore. And Janelle's farm? A living metaphor for everything she learned. Hard work, independence, growth from the ashes. But while they built their futures, Kody began his apology tour, a last-ditch effort to reclaim something that couldn't be bought. He showed up one by one. Meri, Janelle, even Christine. Not as a husband, but as a man trying to rewrite his ending. Kody. I was wrong. I handled it all wrong. Meri. You didn't just handle it wrong, Kody. You held on too long. Janelle. You can't fix betrayal with paperwork. Each conversation ended the same polite, distant final. For fans, it was bittersweet closure. For Kody, it was the realization that he was now the outsider in the story he once controlled. And then came the final twist, the one no one saw coming. In the finale's final moments, Kody visits Coyote Pass one last time. Alone. The wind is heavy, the land silent. He stands where he once planned to build his wives' homes, and whispers the same line that started it all. Kody, it's like kissing another man's wife. Maybe I've just been holding on to ghosts. The man who built a kingdom on plural love was now the last man standing surrounded, not by wives, but by memories. And the land that was once his family's dream, still unsold, still waiting. That ending broke me. It's tragic, but poetic. Maybe the real story was never about polygamy, it was about letting go. Before the fractures, there was faith. The Browns were once members of the Apostolic United Brethren, a sect that preaches celestial marriage as a path to heaven. For decades, that belief justified everything. 4 weddings, 1 husband, and a promise that love multiplies, never divides. But the doctrine that built their family also built a wall between them and the world. When legal threats rose in Utah and the family moved to Las Vegas, the cracks began to show. Kody told producers, "We wanted to live our faith, not hide it." Yet years later, that same conviction would leave him isolated, still defending a belief system, even as the believers walked away. Because when faith fades, what keeps a family together, guilt or love? While the headlines focused on Kody, the daughters were quietly watching. Aurora, Savannah, Mykelti, each saw a different version of their father. On Reddit, one fan wrote, "You can feel the heartbreak in their eyes every time he says the word loyalty." In family footage, Savannah's absence from birthdays became symbolic, not rebellion, but retreat. Mykelti once admitted in a live stream, "It's weird seeing your parents become strangers on TV." These girls grew up believing unity was sacred. Now they're learning independence is survival. Maybe the daughters aren't the bystanders. Maybe they're the mirror. Land deeds don't lie. County filings show Coyote Pass split across 4 parcels, joint ownership between Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri. Each parcel worth nearly $200,000. If sold without consent, it could trigger legal disputes, and emotional ones, even louder. Fans online began tracing mortgage records and listing activity, uncovering that 2 lots had been appraised recently. Was Kody seeking liquidity or closure? A financial analyst on YouTube speculated he's cashing out a dream he can't rebuild. When love turns into paperwork, who really owns the past? By mid-season, the fandom split like the family itself. Team wives flooded TikTok with edits of Meri laughing again and Janelle on her farm. Team Kody argued that the man was misunderstood, trapped between faith and fame. Comment sections became confessionals. I used to pity Kody, now I study him. They all deserved better, even him. Every episode wasn't just reality TV anymore. It was a cultural mirror reflecting women reclaiming power after years of emotional labor. Because every viewer saw a little of herself in a wife who finally said, enough. Night falls on Coyote Pass. Kody walks alone with a flashlight, stopping where each home was meant to rise. The desert wind answers him louder than words. He looks into a side mirror of his truck. Older, grayer, quieter. In his reflection flash the faces of Christine, Janelle, Meri, Robyn, each fading like ghosts in the glass. I thought this land would hold us forever, he murmurs, but maybe it only held me. The camera lingers. One man, 4 memories, and a silence too heavy to break. Coyote Pass didn't die with the marriages it lives on as a monument to lessons learned too late. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and share. Because next week, we uncover Robyn's silent tears and the hidden truth behind her loyalty.